Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Galletto, Rossonero here with you. Last day of Calciomercato. It's time to do le pagelle. We are voting on what the teams did. Did your team do what you wanted them to do? We'll soon find out. Before we start, like and subscribe, guys. It's very important for us. Solely free, just need a Gmail account. We want and need your support. Where else you're going to find for entertainment and for news? Nowhere else, just on Galletto, Rossonero. So, first team on the list, Atalanta. So I gave Atalanta a 7. They lost Romero, yes, but they made a lot of money off of him. They lost Golini, yes, but they replaced him with a better goalie. They put in Musso. They were able to keep Zapata, who was rumored to be on his way out. They added Zappacosta, Pezzella, Demiral, who I think is going to have a good season with Atalanta. And most importantly, they brought in Cup Miners. Very, very, very good midfielder. They also lost Lammers. Wasn't really a starter, so it doesn't matter. So 7 for them. Bologna, so I gotta be honest, I gave Bologna a 6 until about 4 p.m. this afternoon. After that, my grade was a 5. So you brought in Arnautovic, very good move. You didn't lose a lot of your key players, you kept Orsolini as well. However, you went and sold Tomiyasu, who is your best defenseman for some money, not even that much, 23 million euros. And you didn't replace him by anybody. So to me, bad move, Bologna, that's a 5. Cagliari, 5.5. You lost Nayangolan, you lost Simeone, you lost Sotil, you lost Rugani. You replaced them by who? You replaced them by Strootman, Dalbert, Caceres, Bellanova, and Chieta. So Bellanova used to be a very promising young talent from the Milan farm team. He went to Bordeaux, didn't do as well. He's back in Italy. We'll see what he does with Cagliari. Chieta, I'm intrigued with. He could be doing very well. Didn't do that great with Samp last year, so we'll see how he does replacing Simeone. You also kept a unhappy Nandez. He wanted to leave. So Cagliari, 5.5. Empoli, I give them a 6.5. So they brought in Tonelli, Cutrone, Pinamonti, and Di Francesco. I think it's a good strike force for any Serie A team. Not the big ones, obviously, but the lower end teams, I think it's a very good one. So I have them saving themselves. I give them 6.5. We'll see what they do. Fiorentina, I give them a 7.5. They kept Vlahovic. They renewed Milenkovic. They added Nico Gonzalez, who, if you watched the first couple of games, so good. They brought in Torreira, a very good midfielder. Very, very good. Great acquisition. They lost Pezzella. They lost Ribéry. No big deal. Honestly, I think with whoever they brought in, it's better. So Fiorentina, 7.5. If you would have brought in Berardi at the end, I would have given you a 9. But 7.5, very good. Genoa, we are witness to another revolution. An entire team left, an entire team came in. Obviously, they lost Zappacosta, Scamacca, and Perin. However, they brought in Sirigu, very good keeper. Hernani, who did very well with Parma. Maximovic, who for Genoa will do very well. Busquets, Cambiaso are very promising young talents. Touré and Fares, I think they're good acquisitions. But the best acquisition, Caicedo from Lazio. Great striker. Scored a lot of important goals for Lazio, so good. 6 for Genoa. Inter, I Cugini, I gave them 7.5. They had a very hard situation. They had to sell Hakimi. They were forced to sell Lukaku because he wanted to leave. Marotta made some magic happen. Got Dumfries, Correa, Dzeko, Çalhanoğlu, and they brought in Di Marco, who was on loan from Verona. I think he will do well. I think he's going to be a surprise. Correa, what a signing. So much more depth on the team. And he was actually able to renew Lautaro Martinez, which is very, very important for the team. So you lost Lukaku, you lost Hakimi. I think you still have a very good team. Marotta working his magic this transfer session. Awesome. Showed why he's one of the best. On the other hand, Cherubini, new DS for Juve. Horrible market. You brought in Locatelli, you brought in Kyle George, and you brought in Keane. You lost. Ronaldo, Demiral, and Buffon. So you're going to say, Buffon, you lost. Okay, you brought in Perin. He was back from your loan from Genoa. Okay, Perin, Buffon. Okay, but you lose the leadership of Buffon. Demiral, he was a good young defenseman. You let him go, and you replaced him by Rugani, who came back from his loan from Cagliari. Rugani, you've been trying to get rid of for the past 2 or 3 seasons, easily. Every year you loan him out. So why did you keep him this year? Not sure. Ronaldo, you lost him for 15 million euros. That's all. Yes, you've saved his salary, but you also lost 30 goals. And nobody that you've acquired will give you those 30 goals. Keane, for 35 million euros, is not worth 30 goals. Caio George, as much as they say he's a good kid, he's very good. We'll see what he does in the Italian Championship. And that's it. You brought in Locatelli for the midfield, but I think that midfield is still not good enough. And you kept De Sciglio on the right-hand side. Why? You've been trying to get rid of him as well. Not good. Not good. Lazio, I'm going to give an 8. So Lazio, they lost Correa. They lost Calcedo. They lost Fares. They let go of Lucic and Parolo. However, they brought in Hisage, who was one of Sarri's favorites. They brought in Pedro. And that's very like, oh my God, you're saying Pedro because he played horrible with Roma. But if you looked at his first couple of games with Lazio, he played very well. So who knows that under Sarri, he becomes a superstar again. Zaccagni, awesome acquisition today. Awesome. Basic, a very good acquisition as well. And you brought back Anderson. All good acquisitions. Lazio, the first couple of games have been on fire. So, good. All good. All good for Lazio. We can't really say anything bad about them. So, good. 8. Milan gave a 7. You lost Donnarumma. You lost Çalhanoğlu on free transfers, and that hurts a lot because you didn't get any money out of it. At least if you would have gotten some money out of it, it would have been better. However, Maldini was very good to replace Donnarumma with Magna. Looks like a very good keeper. First couple of games were very, very good. You were able to buy back Tomori. You brought back Tonali. You brought back Diaz. You went to get Bakayoko. Adli, you loaned them for the season in France, but you're supposed to be a very good midfielder as well. You brought in Messia. Messia, not the best. Whatever. He's going to be a replacement for somebody. We'll see how it goes. More importantly, you brought in Giroud. Giroud is your top acquisition. Honestly, if you watch the first couple of games, he played so well. So Giroud, your number one acquisition. Obviously, he's going to do very well. He's that person that we needed last year to give us that extra step. And Pellegrini is a youngster. We'll see what they do. Napoli, I gave a 5. Honestly, guys, they only signed Aguiza. He's not going to be a starter. He's going to be a backup. They signed Juan Jesus, who honestly, you should even count as an acquisition. Horrible. They lost Hisage, Maximovic, and you still haven't renewed Insigne. So we'll see what they do. But for now, Napoli gets a 5. Roma to me is the best team. They did so good. I'm giving them an 8.5 out of 10. Shomurodov, Abrahams, Vigna, Rui Patricio. You were able to get rid of heavy contracts like Pastore, Juan Jesus, Pedro, Perez, Kluivert, Olsen. You got rid of all of them. The only thing is that you weren't able to get rid of Nzonzi and Fazio. They refused every offer. However, you could see it from the first couple of games. Abraham, Shomurodov, very good. So Roma gets an 8.5, top of the class, in my opinion. Salernitana, it was a very hard transfer market for Salernitana. I have them saving themselves without a actual ownership. As you may or may not know, Lotito, who's the owner of Lazio, was also the owner of Salernitana. However, you can't have two teams in the same division. So he had to sell them. He actually gave them to a fund. It's only a name. I don't know. They didn't really have an ownership. So the sporting director did what he could. Honestly, their best acquisition was Simi. I'm not sure if he's going to be enough to make them stay in Serie A. I hope, because that's what I picked, but we'll see. Sampdoria, you lost Janko, okay, but you didn't really change any of the main team. You didn't add anybody, but you didn't really lose. You just lose Janko, you lost Caprari, but Caprari, honestly, he hasn't proven that he could be a very good Serie A striker. So, to me, it's not a big loss. You ended up adding Caputo, which is very good, from Sassuolo. You added Draguzin, who's a good prospect from Juve, and Iataren, that Juve also bought yesterday, but they passed him on a loan. So Caputo was the only great addition. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. We'll see with Quagliarella and Gabbiadini. But now that Gabbiadini is injured, he's probably going to start a bit. So Caputo, good insert. But all in all, you didn't really do much. Sassuolo, I gave them a 6.5. They lost Caputo. They lost Locatelli. They lost Marlon. They were able to keep Boga and Berardi. They have Raspadori and Scamacca as forwards. And they brought in this kid, Enrique, from Brazil, from Grêmio, who will replace Locatelli. I think he will do very well this season. So keep an eye on him. We'll see. Spezia, I gave them a 5.5. I could give them a 6 in reality. So after they found out that they were going to be banned from doing a market last year, they brought all these youngsters in. Not big names, but I got to be honest, Colli and Kovalenko from Atalanta, I think they were great additions. And I'm very curious for the kid that they brought in today from Barcelona, Manaj. He's supposed to be very good. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do this year. I have them being relegated, but you never know. They might surprise us. Torino. So Torino, it had to take Juric screaming on top of his lungs for you to start doing a bit of a market. You brought in Prae, Zima, Brecalo in the last couple of days. You also brought in Piaca and Pobega. You were able to keep Belotti. You lost Nkulu, Mete, Lianco. Not big losses, honestly, because Mete was on a loan last year, so who cares? Lianco, okay. Nkulu was a good defenseman, but you have Zima now, so we'll see what happens. Prae, Brecalo, and Pobega, very good additions. Too bad Pobega is only on a loan, but very good additions. Udinese, I actually gave them a 4.5. So, you lost De Paul, you lost Musso for a total of like 55 million euros. Who did you buy? You didn't buy much. You bought Silvestre from Verona, who's a very good goalkeeper. However, that's pretty much it. You brought in Perez, this kid from Atletico Madrid, on a loan. He's supposed to be very good. I'm very curious to see him as well. But that's about it. You didn't do much more, and so you get a 4.5. I think you should have done more with the money that you got. Venezia, 5.5. Venezia, they brought in Caldara. I don't know how well he's going to do there. But today they did a good move, and they brought in Ampadu from Chelsea, another very good young talent. We'll see how they play in Italy, all these kids, but he's supposed to be very good. So, 5.5. Finally, Verona. So, Verona, I gave them a 5.5. Okay? Not only did you go get Di Francesco as a coach. Horrible. You lost Silvestre, Zaccagni, Lovato, and Juric. I say Juric because Juric is very important. He was a very good coach, and he was the brains behind the operation. But you lost Zaccagni, who was your best player. You lost Silvestre, who was a good goalkeeper. You lost Lovato, who was a starter at you. He went to Atalanta. He will be on the bench, but he's a very good young talent. You added Simeone, El Cholito from Cagliari. I think he's a good addition. Won't be enough. You added Caprari, like we said before, never proved that he could be a very good Serie A striker. So, that's it. That's all you did. And you confirmed the loan of Ilic from Manchester City. So, Verona, 5.5. Guys, those are the Pagelles. Let me know what you think. Do you think I gave them a good grade? Let me know if you agree or not. Guys, have a great soccer day. We talk later. We'll see the best acquisition Serie A and who left Serie A. We'll see what it looks like for next season. All right. Have a great season. Have a great day, guys.